So I've been a farmer for many years now, grew up on our family farm in Brunswick County. Our kids are actually the sixth generation to live there on the same farm. And over the years, we were livestock farmers, so we've raised every kind of meat you can eat we have raised on our farm, and then direct marketed at the local farmers markets and also at the bigger markets in Richmond. So over the years, I got to know a lot of my peer farmers. This is some of them. You can change it. And here's some more of them. And go to the next one. And they produce some really, really amazing products, whether it's meats or berries or produce, and you can really taste the difference. When it's local, you really know it, and it's better for you. And also, there's a lot of value-added product producers. Go to the next one. This will be a lot easier if I had a clicker. So these are some of the value-added products that are made by some of our producers in Southern Virginia. And actually, after everything is said and done, we actually are going to set up a little tasting station, and you'll get to try some of these products. In the top corner, that's Birdie's Pimento Cheese, and we have some Browntown Farm Strawberry Jam. And there's one product on here, this Oreo Cream Stuffed Chocolate Dipped Apple. I couldn't bring those for you today, and there's a reason. But the Southern Virginia Food Hub is going to help alleviate that, and maybe next year I can bring those for you. We'll get to that. There you go, the next one. So in getting to know all of these farmers and artisan food producers across Southern Virginia, we realized that we had a lot of the same challenges. If you're selling at a farmer's market on Saturday mornings, you have 4 hours. That's 4 hours of your entire week to market and sell all of your products. Well, if it rains 3 Saturdays in a row, then you're not going to have enough money to pay your mortgage. So it really takes being a small farmer off the table for financial viability to actually have a small farm and it sustain your family. So that was one of the biggest problems that all of us had. Also, having access to a commercial kitchen. My friend Katrina that makes those wonderful stuffed apples, she needed a commercial inspected kitchen in order to sell those outside of the farmer's market. Also, there's a lot of food regulations, and they're there for our safety. They're there for our own good, but as a small business starting out, it can be insurmountable. You know, to put in your own commercial kitchen, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you want to make your product to sell outside of farmers markets, it's not viable for a lot of startup businesses. All right, you can go to the next one. So we had this great idea. Hey, we need a food hub. We need a commercial kitchen. We need a local food grocery. We need a classroom so we can educate the community about the importance of local food and keeping our food dollars here in Southern Virginia. We need that inspected kitchen so these small startup food businesses can actually take it to the next level. We need a grocery for the local foods so we can have our products in front of consumers more than just 4 hours on Saturday morning. So our primary goals is to increase the consumption of the local foods by the local consumers. So having that local food grocery open so you can shop on Tuesday afternoon. Maybe your kids have soccer on Saturday morning. That's me. Huge supporter of local food. I can't make it to the farmer's market on Saturday morning. Making Southern Virginia synonymous with good food. So Hanover has the tomato. Vidalia, Georgia, they have the onion. We don't have that one product other than tobacco, but you don't really eat that we can market together. So our plan is to actually market and brand Southern Virginia products that's coming out of our food hub together. So when you see these products in Richmond or Northern Virginia or the Raleigh area and you see that logo designed by the Mecklenburg students, you'll know, hey, I've had their cheesecake before. I've had their string beans before. It's really good. Kind of like Virginia Finest, but on a more regional level. We also are going to bring a lot more activity to downtown. We're located right beside the Historic Colonial Theater in downtown South Hill. So we've partnered with them to be open before and after their events. So when people come to downtown, they can not only see a really good show, they can also sample some of the local beer, local wine, and local foods. So our children, as I mentioned, we're partnered with the local schools. Even though we're in an agricultural area, we are further removed now from farming than ever before. How many of you actively farm now? Have a garden, anything? How many had a parent or grandparent that had a farm? See, 2 generations off. And even though we're in an agricultural area, we're a USDA food desert, meaning if you don't have a car, you don't have access to food. And also our kids, no idea where their food comes from. No clue. Some kids, a little too much. My son, Mom, can we get some ducks we don't eat? No, we cannot. But Most kids, they don't know what a red bell pepper tastes like. They have no idea. So that's part of our partnership with the schools, is to get to our kids and say, hey, this stuff is good, and it's good fresh, and it's better when it's local. So we also have a community classroom within our food hub, and we have a long list. We won't open until May, but we have a long list of classes already scheduled out: healthy eating, basic cooking, gourmet cooking, nutrition classes. It's a long, very long list. And speaking of cooking, a lot of people, they don't cook anymore. They don't have time. They don't want to cook. They don't know how to cook. But they want to support the local food movement. So when we did a lot of our initial studies and consumer surveys, we found that people wanted ready-to-eat meals. So that's one of our biggest operations for the food hub, is to take what's in season, put it into a ready-to-eat meal, send it out the door, ready to go on a table. Okay, you can go to the next one. So, it's hard to talk fast. So we have had a lot of partners in this project. We are currently $1 million in place in grant funding from these grantors listed here. Huge support from the Southside Planning District and also the town of South Hill. We are partnered with the Virginia Cooperative Extension and also Virginia State School of Agriculture. We host a lot of Virginia State's classes. We're kind of a southern region for them to kind of get in, actually into the communities. Here, you can go to the next one. So we're up to 117 farmers and artisan food producers. When we started all this, we had 40, and it kind of snowballed quickly, which is kind of a testament to how much this is needed by our small farmers. Our primary region are the 8 counties that are highlighted in black. And you can see the red star, that's South Hill. It's pretty much the center of the hub. And over the last 5 years that we've been working on this project, the term food hub has kind of morphed. Some of you may be familiar with the local food hub in Charlottesville. And a lot of the bigger food hubs are kind of a produce aggregate. Everybody brings in the produce and then it goes out the door. That's not at all what we are. It's a small part of it. It's so much more, and it would take a week for me to explain everything we're actually doing with this project. And we actually recently got funding from the Tobacco Commission to purchase a pickup delivery van to run a route through these 8 counties, because logistics is a huge problem for small farmers. Most of them, if you have a 2-person household, one works off the farm, one works on the farm. Well, you don't have time. By the time you've raised your family and you're raising your crops, you're raising your livestock, you don't have time to harvest it, pack it, wash it, and then drive it wherever it needs to go, because if you're living in these counties, you're a long way from anywhere if you're out in the country, so to speak. So thanks to the Tobacco Commission, we now have a vehicle that will run a route and get everything back to the hub. Okay. So that's our actual location. It's that funny L-shaped building right in the very center of downtown. That's the historic Colonial Theater right beside us. Go ahead. This is a diagram of the inside. This top part over to the right, that's our classroom. And then the main door is in the center, kind of in that little angle. That's the local food grocery. And then back on this lower end, that is the commercial kitchen. We actually have a 14 by 26 feet walk-in cooler and freezer to house all this wonderful produce and local meats. Right, next. And the pictures really don't do it justice. It really, really is a great-looking facility. It was storage. The town of South Hill actually owns the building. It was storage for the theater. So I have pictures from the very beginning to now, and it's unreal, the transformation of this. Okay, next. We actually have started hosting some classes. The 4-H kids, they were doing their food challenge classes in the extension office there in Boyton. And it's not set up to do cooking. And the first time the 4-H kids got to come in the kitchen, one little girl goes, "Oh, this looks like Food Network." And her eyes were so big, and the kids were so happy. And I was like, oh, yeah, we are definitely onto something here. And that top corner, we actually did our first, it was kind of like a pilot for our Lunch and Learn series, and we have a lot of those scheduled. And they'll be either from 11 to noon or from noon until 1. Come in, learn something about nutrition or healthy eating or business-related, like with Longwood College of Small Business. Where are y'all at? We worked with y'all a lot with Sherry McGuire. Thank you very much. It was a huge part at the very beginning of all this. So classes like that partnered with a local meal. Okay. And we've had several soft opening events. Mr. Lael, I think you made it to one of ours with Secretary Ring. She came down, and I love this picture. All the girl FFA kids, and then the female Secretary of Agriculture. I thought that was awesome. All right, go ahead. So, grand opening in May. That's a lot in hopefully 10 minutes. And again, there is so much more that's actually going on with this project. It would take way more than 10 minutes to cover all of it. That is our email address. And all of those grants I wrote, I did not write one for a website, so that'll be the next one I'm writing. If anybody has any good ideas, let me know. Need to know where to go for that one. We have an active Facebook and Instagram page. Please follow us there. If you're ever in the South Hill area, we'll be open in May with full-time hours. Please stop in and take a look. Thank you.